Okay, so as we said in the last video, this one will focus on your assignments and your assignment writing. Now, as Saskia said, there are 3 assignments. Assignment 1 is your multiple choice. Assignment 2 is your report on a psycholinguistic experiment. And assignment 3 is on corpus linguistics. We won't really go into too much detail on assignments 1 and 3 because it's fairly self-explanatory. Assignment 1 is your entry assignment, which does not count for marks, but is very important for you to do because it gives you an opportunity to study through the first section of your study guide. And it guides you in terms of what you need to look for, what you need to understand. So if you don't do well in that assignment, you know where you are lacking. So please do it and submit it, even though it doesn't count for marks towards your final mark. If you don't do it, you will not get entry into the exam, so you do need to do it. So please remember that. Assignment 3 is a very simple overview of corpus linguistics. Everything is in your guide. It's very clear. Please phone, please email. The email address is at the top and in your tutorial letter. Saskia Cross will be available for any questions or queries regarding that. However, assignment 2 might be a little tricky given that you have not been exposed to doing your own independent research before. So what we're going to do here is just talk you through the steps so that you understand what we expect of you and what we sort of want you to do when you are writing up a research report. This is a miniature research report, but don't be intimidated by those terms because it really is quite simple. On page 18 of your tutorial letter, there are 10 very clear steps that they ask you to follow when doing research of any kind. Step 1 asks you to formulate a theoretical question. Step 2 asks you to formulate a hypothesis and hypothesis. Step 3 asks you to decide on the testing method. Step 4 asks you to set up a group of informants. Step 5 asks you to look at the material and to design it. Step 6 asks you to do a trial run. Step 7 to adjust it. Step 8 to actually conduct the experiment. Step 9 to consolidate your findings. And step 10 to actually go ahead and write the report. So we'll talk you through each stage. And before we talk about anything else, I think it would help if we talk about a very simple scenario that we would like to investigate. You all are familiar with the workplace, where people come to the office, do their job, and they expect either a wage or a salary at the end of the month. Arguably, that's what they're working for, though people work for other reasons too. Maybe they enjoy their job, maybe they bored at home, don't need the money, but still would like to work and so on. But the salary at the end of the month is the main driving force behind most people. So we're going to actually look at that as a research question. We're going to research what motivates people to go to work. And we've decided to illustrate this with one particular example, and that is whether paying a bonus to people who work in a particular company motivates them, makes them happy, makes them want to stay at a particular company. Would they be less happy if they didn't get a bonus? So a bonus can take the form of a performance bonus or of a 13th check, either a Christmas bonus or a birthday bonus. So we are thinking of a research question that could be formulated as follows. Does the payment of bonuses lead to employee satisfaction? People working in any company anywhere, will they be more satisfied if they get a bonus at the end of the year or a 13th check sometime during the year? So imagine you are asked to investigate this idea and to research it and to see whether this inspires employees to stay at the company or whether they are happier to stay at a company where they get a 13th check. It sounds obvious, but it might not be the case because there are many companies where people have other forms of incentives, where they get longer holidays or they get a higher salary and so on. So imagine the boss of some company, the CEO of Vodacom or the Vice Chancellor at UNISA called us and said, look, we want to know whether paying bonuses makes our employees happier, whether it leads to satisfaction. These are terms which have to be defined when you write up your research report. So step 1 asks you to put your research question forward. It says theoretical question. It asks you to put it in a question form. Step 2, which is formulate a hypothesis, is nothing but your research question put into the form of a testable statement. So if we were to take this question and write it as a testable statement, how would we do that? Could be, the payment of bonuses lead to employee satisfaction. It's a statement, a rather bold statement, it's a falsifiable statement, it's one that we can test. So we are assuming that it does lead to employee satisfaction. And our research will either prove or disprove that. So at the end of the research, we can actually say, yes, it does lead to employee satisfaction, or no, it doesn't seem to lead to employee satisfaction. That's step 2. Step 3 is your method. Decide on the testing method. So your method is basically how you're going to go about and test this hypothesis. So we need to test it somehow. We're not sure whether it's true or not, so we need to think about how we are going to test it. So we'll just erase the board, and Saskia will talk you through the next step in the next video. So we'll end there for now and continue shortly.